Hello everyone, this is Jubilant Rich coming to you with my rundown of my first ever visit to Warhammer World, because you all care. So anyway, basically this has been something that had been set up by Mike. I don't really know how best to describe him, whether it was Mike 40k as he goes by on Twitter or something else, because he doesn't create content, so I don't know. Mike, great guy for one. Really happy that he actually took the time to book the tables for everyone. Yeah, and just can't thank him enough. But that aside, so the trip there was horrible for me because I didn't actually sleep the night before because I'm an idiot. And so Toby was just sort of like driving along, and after about, I don't know, I think we got to the halfway point of the journey, at which point I was just like, yeah, and it was pretty much the same case on the way back. But yeah, whenever we got there, of course, we went out to try and find people. Sometimes people look different in photos than they do in real life, so even though I walked right past Mike, even looked at him a couple of times, I couldn't really tell if it was him or not. And because I'm actually quite insecure, believe it or not, I had Toby go over and sort of like ask him if he was who he was, and it turns out he was, so that was great. Yeah, then of course we went to get breakfast, after of course, you know, talking to Mike, saying what we were doing, seeing what's going on. And then we got down to playing some games. First off, you had me versus Toby. He was playing his Heretic Astartes, and I had took my Reavers along with me because I just thought they'd be good to just play as for fun games because they're Reavers. And of course, like, I ended up conceding somewhere around the midpoint of the game because I was playing Reavers. But yeah, I did find out that smoke grenades, and the first time I'd actually used them was whenever they'd been FAQ'd. I quite like how they work. I don't know if there was any, well, I suppose there was a lot of questions when it came to how they worked before, which is why I guess they've simplified it to now as, if you're in a smoke thing, if a cover line crosses the smoke cloud, you're obscured. Simple as. Which was good, because like, I just threw one up in the middle of the board. I think it was in Turning Point 2, and that's where there was a big scrum, I suppose is the best way to put it, as we tried to basically fight back and forth for the center objective. But I was running out of guys, and I just thought, it's just not going to go anywhere different than how it is. The second game was me versus Toby again. This time I actually played my Genestealer Cultist. I will say, I did mention some places that I think it was even on one of my last videos, that I was going to take Wormblade to Warhammer World. I didn't get the agents done in time, plus I didn't really want to be learning how to play Wormblade for the first time at a fun event with a bunch of people I don't know, you know what I mean? It was like, it would just make things drag out, it'd be terrible. I mean, it didn't help that because I still have yet to fully absorb the pre-game phase into my mind. I still had to do that through the majority of this setup for the first game. So just imagine that mixed with, wait, how does this team work again? Half an hour? But yeah, anyway, so I played Broodcoven. Yeah, with the second game against Toby, I fielded your standard Neophyte and one of the early gen, in this case Acolytes, mix. He ended up conceding this time because, yeah, oh yeah, I should actually elaborate. We were playing Domination. Is it Domination or Dominion? It's got Dominate. Anyway, we were playing that for our first two games. I actually quite like that mission. I think that's probably the first time I'd actually played it. Yeah. So anyway, the third game was against Mike himself, and that was a really fun game. I went with just all acolytes, even though I knew that it's better to go with the shooty combat mix. I went with this one because I thought to myself, oh, I just wanted to try it, you know? And it didn't take me long to realise what the issue was which was ranged weaponry, or lack thereof. So I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon, or if I do, it's probably going to be against a faction where I don't really care about not being able to shoot at them. I'm trying to think who that would be. Probably another combat team, but you don't really want to be in combat with a combat team because combat is freaking... Tangent aside, yeah, so anyway, against Mike, it was Awaken the Data Spirits, I believe. Yes, that was it. Yeah, and that one was... you know what? I'm going to double check that. Because I don't want to be sitting here talking crap. I hate to do that whole going off camera and still talking at you thing. But again, I just wanted to make sure that I had the right... Yeah, it was Working the Data Spirits. Yeah, I was right. So, yeah, I was actually getting a nice lead on that one. I ended up finishing on 8 points. Mike caught up, overtook me, ended up on 9 points. So that was a very close game, a very fun game, and just had some funny moments, like when one of my guys on 2... He kept leaving a lot of guys on 2 wounds, which of course makes sense if you're using 3-4 weapons for the majority of your team and you're fighting against guys who've got 8 wounds apiece. But yeah, once of course they were down to 2 wounds, apart from this one guy at one point, they were just pretty much easier to take off. So I guess that was it. I was gradually losing guys and not really thinking about that, to the point where I couldn't really recover by the time he'd overtook me. But this one guy, like, first, because I had shadows, I'm just going to say Into the Shadows, whatever the fuck it was. Lurk in the Shadows. It's with the Broadcoven, the tactical ploy, which allows you to either have an automatic critical save or have an additional automatically retained normal save. I went with, because I think he got a critical on a shot with, it was probably likely a bolter or bolt carbine, bolt pistol, bolt carbine. And so I saved the one of the crits with the automatic one, and then I rolled my 2 dice, and then I got 2 more 6s, so this guy just brushed that shit off. Yeah, that was fun. But it still didn't save me. So yeah, fun game against Mike. Hats off to you, sir. Did I say that he was playing Reavers? I think I did. Yeah. So yeah. So like I say, I only got 3 games in. Glass Half Dead, Andy was there. Didn't get to play against him. I kind of wanted to. No, I mean, I did want to, but because I'd seen that he'd been playing at least a few games before I'd sort of got too near him, which sounded weird. Like, I figured that I probably wouldn't get one in, because, you know, after a time your brain burns out. You kind of want to just... So, yeah. I noticed that he's going to be there doing some more games today, I think. So, yeah, good luck to you, Andy. Oh, yes. So after, of course, the gaming stuff, Mike, myself, and another fella who I met, can't remember his name, very sorry, we went through the exhibition. And that was just friggin' amazing. Like, there was so many just gorgeous displays. Like, I especially liked the Horus versus the Emperor diorama from, like, long, long ago. There was also this, like, is it a Thunderbolt fighter? It's one of the fighter planes. And in this diorama, you've got that being worked on by a mechanic while 2 Imperial Navy officers just stand there doing some stuff. Yeah, I remember seeing that in a White Dwarf, which I had way back. And I thought that was a really cool piece. And the fact that it was there, it was great. I loved it. So I took a couple of photos of that and the other one. But yeah, there was just so many amazing displays. And the one, like, basically at the end, no, it's not really the end actually, because it was just before the end, I suppose. But the big one, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like the massive one where they hide an assassin every once in a while. It's just huge, you know, it's just amazing. Now that I've gushed over that enough, yeah, So, oh, and you may also notice a second team has appeared in the cabinet back there, which would of course be my Brood Coven. I did sort of say that I wasn't going to put any work in progress stuff in there, but they're at a distance you could say that they're painted. So I'm going to leave them there for now, and of course while I'm working on them, because I might actually work on them, unlike the Death Watch, who I just forgot about. Yeah, I may actually continue to work on them, especially that I'm like getting more into the idea of GSC, especially the painting side of it. On a related note, as far as painting goes, because I am clearly a very slow hobbyist, I'm looking into techniques involving contrast and whatnot. The Sonic Sledgehammer Studios is another channel I might recommend because he does some amazing tutorials which rely on simplicity, and I'm a man who is all about simplicity. So yeah, that's something I want to look into, is more contrast sort of techniques and what have you for my Gene Stealer cultists. I don't think I'm going to do Pauper Princes as my main scheme. Maybe we're going to do one of the other 5 of the main ones, or I may just do the Kirsten. I'm having deja vu here. Anyway, so yeah, I should probably wrap this up. I've talked enough about my trip to Warhammer World. Yeah. You probably noticed I haven't even mentioned the whole AMA thing since obviously I posted about it, because I was actually hoping to get more, you know, at least into the double figures of questions this time around, but I haven't yet again. But that's fine, because I'm sure I can make a half or so hour video about answering about 7 questions, such as the case this time. But yeah, anyway, I thank you those who have actually asked me some questions and that. And I think, yeah, now I'm ready to actually answer those questions. So I'll get around to doing that for the next video. In the meantime, everyone stay safe, happy gaming, etc. And I shall see you in the next video. Have a pleasant day.